Hi, I'm Chris Morris. This is Opening Spaces. I'm back. Okay, today I want to give you a tool to help tone and engage your ventral vagal nervous system, which has to do with your vagus nerve. This is the calming down side of your nervous system. Simple tool created by Stanley Rosenberg, who is a body therapist. He's a Rolfer and a cranial sacral therapist, and he's worked with Dr. Stephen Porges, who developed the polyvagal theory, which basically means that there's two sides of the vagus nerve, along with the fight or flight part of our nervous system. So basically three branches. This part that we're working with is called the social engagement nervous system. It helps pull us out of our fight or flight system, and also pulls us out of this newest system that's discovered. Well, it's the newly discovered part, but it is actually the oldest part of our nervous system. And this is the freeze part. This is the withdrawal part, or the inhibition part. So this exercise can pull us out of both sides of the non-calming down part of our nervous system. We need all three parts of our nervous system, but we need them to be working in harmony together. This exercise, the basic exercise, will help release and rebalance, help reset our C1, C2 vertebra of our nervous system. If you get chiropractic adjustments, you probably are very familiar with those. This is a gentle way to self-adjust. When we get activated emotionally, both in the positive side and what we would call the negative side, it affects right into this part of our brain stem and right into this part of our spinal column. So the exercise, there are three cues that we know that our ventral vagus nervous system has come online, and that is a sigh, a swallow, or a yawn. Sigh, swallow, or yawn. And the sigh might feel like a deep inhale. It might feel like a deep exhale. Okay, the suggestion is to do this lying down in the beginning, because then your muscular system is just settled down. But we do a pre-test, and that is better to do sitting. You just get a better feed. You can do this sitting too. I'm going to do it sitting. It's easier to record. Okay, first things first, a little pre-test. So just sit up nice, straight, and tall. And turn your head side to side. So you turn it to one side, and then you turn it to the other. And what you're doing here is you're just noticing what you're noticing. Noticing the range of motion. Notice the tightness. Notice where the tension pulls into your head. My head is turning very asymmetrically. And then that's your information. Head back to center. So remember, we're looking for a sigh, a swallow, or a yawn. Sigh, swallow, or yawn. And that's the signal that our ventral vagus nervous system has kicked in, has engaged. And if you don't get this, don't worry about it. Your system may take time for it to notice, or it may happen and you don't notice it, because sometimes it's subtle. We want to hold our head. So if you only have one hand, you're doing one hand across the whole back of your head. If you're doing two hands, you interlace your fingers and then bringing them to the back of your head. And then with this, your head stays right in the middle and your eyes go to the side. So head stays in the middle, eyes to the right. Now look towards your elbow and just wait and see what happens. If you get that sigh or swallow or yawn, you might get a couple of them. Then bring your eyes back to center when you're done. If you're still waiting, wait. We're going to give it a bit. Wait, so you have time. And I just had two of them. And then eyes back to center. Your head's been in the center. Eyes back to center. And then eyes to the other side. Eyes to the left. And you're waiting for your sigh, your swallow, or your yawn. And once you get it, eyes back to center. You might get a couple. And once you get it, just come back to center and release your arms. If you haven't gotten it yet, just stay for another few seconds. So 30 to 60 seconds is the suggestion. And then when you come back to center and release your hands, it might be an interesting feel in your system. And then you just want to recheck what has happened to the tension in your your muscular tension, your range of motion tension, and all of this has to do with nervous system. Now, this was a very gentle exercise, and notice if you have a difference. I'm trying to see if my head turns even. I'm very uneven. So that is the basic exercise, and we want to do this repeatedly. You do this morning and night. You can do this throughout the day. If you're feeling stressed, you can do it seated. You can do it lying down. The basic exercise to engage our ventral vagus part of our nervous system. It's the calming down side. It's the resetting. It's bringing on our social engagement nervous system, which helps us interact in the world in a much more fulfilling way. Who can't use a calming down moment or gazillion during our days? Okay, you guys, I'm Chris Morris. This is Opening Spaces. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you next time.